of Mercia, the current Bretwalda, has fallen. The island is plagued with internal conflicts. Blood soaks the fertile lands, and the rulers of other Anglo-Saxon kingdoms can't rest as the vision of more power flickers on the horizon. Family feuds suddenly turn into full-fledged wars, and four monarchs are at each other's throats, fighting for the crown of the overlord of all Saxons, the title of Bretwalda. But will any of them manage to take control of the heptarchy before the avalanche of Cold Steel and North's Fury hits the 7 Anglo-Saxon kingdoms? Welcome to Bretwalda Preview.
Hello YouTube, this is Adam from Weekly Game Night. Welcome to another preview video on my channel, and today I will be previewing Bretwalda by Phalanx Games. This game is currently on GameFound, so you will be able to find the link to the campaign in the description of this video below. In this video I will tell you what Bretwalda is all about. I will share my thoughts on what do I like about this game and where is the area for the improvements. Also, I will tell you who do I think this game is for, and finally I will show you the gameplay basics, so stay with me. But before we continue, why not subscribing to my channel? This will help me to bring more of this content to you guys. So hit ringtones, hit thumbs ups, and of course hit the subscribe button. And shall you have any questions about this game, ask them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them as soon as I can. So Bretwalda is an asymmetrical strategy area control game set in 8th century Britain. You will become a kingdom leader trying to prove yourself worthy and get the Bretwalda title, ruler of all Saxons. In this game, you might expect a lot of battles, Viking raids, kingdom development, deck building, negotiations, treason, and diplomacy. Perhaps it wouldn't be completely fair if I tell you that Bretwalda is a modern, better, and nicer version of Game of Thrones, but it is. What you see here is a core game for 1 to 4 players, so there's a solo mode, but I believe this game will be best played at maximum player count, and definitely there will be 5th player available, so be sure to check the campaign for more details on that. And it will take you about 180 minutes to play the game at maximum player count, although publisher says it might take you even 90 minutes, but I don't find that probable, and I think that definitely more than 2 hours, somewhere around 3 hours, it's the time to play Bretwalda. And let me tell you a little bit about the author of this game, because this is unusual. So the author is Leo Soloviev, and not only did he design the entire game, but also he did the entire art of this game, and as you may see, the art in this is something else. So wow, what a gifted dude. I have not seen any game looking like that in a while. The game includes stunning game board that looks like a medieval map, showing the England and Wales divided into regions with all names written in Old English. Also, there are different decks of cards in the game, all of them with unique medieval illustrations, and there are the miniatures, like handmade wooden chess pieces. Well, if you want to see more of this game, you might check the other video I did with the game presentation, and you should see the link somewhere on your screen right now. Bretwalda is a competitive game, and to win it you will have to get the Dalk symbols, and the winner will be the person who gets the most based on the player counts. But there are 2 other conditions that might end the game. So the first one is when you eliminate a player. You get 3 different rulers and if the other players will kill all of them, then the game ends for you and the winner of the game is chosen. And also, if you get the final round of this game on this round track, then once again the game ends, and based on the dark symbols you have, the winner will be chosen. So how do you get these dark symbols? Well, it's pretty simple. First of all, as this is area control game, you will get them by controlling provinces. Next, you can complete your secret objective cards, so this will give you up to 2 symbols. And finally, you can build and control abyss, because for every 3 abyss you control, you will get another dark symbol. Simple, right? The game is divided into 12 rounds. So each round is a season of a year divided into 3 phases. In this season phase, you will draw a season card to alter the rules for this round a bit. Plus, you will have to deal with the season special effects. So, you will exchange chronicle cards in spring, Danes will raid your shores in summer, you will move neutral and Danes units in autumn, and feed your soldiers in winter. And after the season phase comes the action phase. Players alternately take 2 actions of 4 types, so you will be able to recruit units, you will be able to move and resolve the battles, you will be able to collect resources, food and gold, and also there is a development action. Finally, we get to the priority phase, in which the pretender for the new round is chosen. So, if you would like to know more about the gameplay, please stay with me and continue watching, but if you want to hear my thoughts about the game, you can skip the next chapter and get straight to that. Either way, see you!
Bretwalda is a game played on map divided into regions of 4 types: countryside, capitals, city and sea. 4 monarchs will be fighting for the crown of the overlord of all Saxons, the title of Bretwalda. The winner of the game will be player with the most dark symbols, and you will get this by controlling regions, building and controlling abyss. For each 3 abyss you control, you will get 1 dark symbol. And there are chronicles cards as well that will give you up to 2 dark symbols. Every time you get a dark symbol, also known as victory point, you will progress on the victory track. Once any player gets the required number of points for the player count, that player will become Bretwalda and the game immediately ends. There are, however, 2 other ways that the game can end. First, if any player loses all his rulers, and second, if you get to the final 12th round of the game, without meeting 2 previously stated conditions. Whatever you do, keep your eye on these dark symbols. The game of Bretwalda consists of 12 rounds, and each round consists of 3 phases: season phase, action phase and priority phase. In the season phase, you reveal the season card for this round and then resolve the specific seasonal impact. In addition to the season cards, each season has its own specific effect. In spring, you may exchange a chronicle card in your hand with the one from the deck, and you can never have more than 2 chronicle cards in your hand. Summer is when the fun starts. At the start of the summer season, Danes sail to Britain on their dracars. At the bottom of the summer card there is information on how many Danes will appear. Fortunately, players can take advantage of their greedy nature and influence where they will land. First, all players besides the leading one will get the treasury coins based on the number of victory points they are behind the leading player. In this example, blue players would get 3 coins. Next, pretty much the same as in Game of Thrones, players will show all the coins they have and then secretly choose the number of coins they wanna bid. Player that was bidding the most coins wins the influence bid. As a reward, winning player will get number of Danes cards and choose where the Danes will land. Once the card is chosen, Danes will land in the shown province. And with each unit that is on the sea or has landed on the land, there will be pillage tokens placed on the map. And you cannot collect food or coins in the province with the pillage tokens, so winning that bid might be very influential. And if Danes land in the province with player units, they will start a battle. Next we have the autumn. In this season you will also bid, but this time to move neutral and Danes units. Unlike in the summer, this time all players that took part in the bidding will have a chance to move the units, starting with the player that won the bid. And if you get to move Danes, they will add new pillage tokens in the provinces adjacent to the province they have just entered. Finally, we have the winter. In winter, you cannot collect food with the collection action. Additionally, you will have to feed all your units besides the ruler. And if you cannot feed any unit, that unit will be lost. So it's super important to collect food in the seasons before the winter. Next, it's time for the action phase. Each player will have possibility of playing 2 actions in any given round. These actions are third, movement, collection, and development. With the third action, you will have the possibility of recruiting new units or upgrading the existing ones. Each unit has its own unique cost. You can recruit just 1 land unit in any city or 2 in your capital. Additionally, you can recruit a ship. Additionally, in the third action, you will have the possibility of buying leadership cards. Each leadership card costs 2 coins, and these cards might be very powerful, so you better get some. Next is the movement action. By taking this action, players will be able to move all their units. It costs 1 movement point to cross the thin border and 2 movement points to cross the thick border of the province. By moving, you will be able to take control of the provinces and start the battles. Once the player is done with the movement, it's time for some battles. The battle consists of 2 rounds, split into a couple of steps. Each unit in the battle will give you specific dice. Additionally, if you are defending in the city or capital, you will get an extra defensive dice. In the first step of the battle, you can play leadership cards. Once all players are done, it's time for some dice rolling. Both players will roll dice in search for sword or shield symbols. After the roll, you will compare your swords with the opponent's shield symbols. If you have more swords, you will be able to inflict a wound. At this point of the battle, 1 player may retreat, or they can continue fighting in the second round. The same as in the first round, you will be able to play leadership cards, and then it's time for some dice rolling. Only the units that survived on the field of battle will generate you some dice. If the attacker cannot kill all the enemy units, he will have to retreat to the adjacent province. And if your ruler is killed in the battle, you will remove the current ruler card and choose the new one from the cards that are left. Remember, you have only 3 rulers for the entire game. With the movement action, you can also move your ships. And if you end your movement in the region containing your opponent's ship, the battle will start. Third type of action the player can take is the collection. Based on the symbols in the provinces you control, you will be able to gather gold and food. At the start of the game, you will be able to collect only in the provinces you have units in. However, as the game goes, you will be able to buy yourself a kingdom tile that will allow you to collect in all provinces under your control. To buy kingdom tiles that will enhance your actions, you will have to take development action. As there are 4 actions to take, there are also 4 kingdom tiles type to buy. To buy a kingdom tile, you will have to spend 3 coins, but as you can see in this example, The red player has already bought monastery schools and he only pays 1 coin for another kingdom tile. You have only 2 slots for each kingdom tile type, so choose wisely. Additionally, with taking the development action, players will be able to buy building. There are 4 different buildings and each of them costs 3 coins. Granary will let you get additional 1 food during collection. Mid Hall will get you 1 free leadership card during 3rd action. Harbor will let you exchange 1 food for 2 gold. Abbey, not only it gives you 1 additional gold during collection, but also you will get 1 dark symbol for 3 abbeys you control. Third and final phase of the round is the priority phase. Based on the number of dalks, you will choose pretender for the next round. If 2 players are tied, you will then check controlled land areas, capitals, areas with cities, and so on. Pretender is a first player and he also gets to decide about the draws. In the priority phase, you will also get to draw a 1 chronicle card. And so it goes, round by round, season by season. Players will try to get Bretwalda title and become the ruler of all Saxons. These were the gameplay basics for Bretwalda. And if you liked what you see, be sure to check Bretwalda rules for negotiations, building destructions, fortifications, and many more.
So I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay video I did, and now let me tell you who I think this game is for. So as Bretwalda is a competitive game, all people that like negative interaction will find Bretwalda up their alley, definitely. And of course all people that like strategy area control game, but I think that's pretty obvious. But this is interesting because in Bretwalda you can win the game without really fighting. I mean, yeah, there might be like few battles, but it's perfectly viable to win the game of Bretwalda with having like 1 or 2 fights. Or alternatively, you can fight a lot, like a lot. Who else? If you like games like Kemet or Ankh or Game of Thrones, the old 2nd edition Game of Thrones, then definitely Bretwalda will be up your alley, believe me. And finally, the folks who just like good looking games, and Bretwalda delivers some stunning visuals. And why did I mention these 3 games in particular? So first let's start with the Game of Thrones. So in Bretwalda you will have negotiations, you will have diplomacy, you can trade resources between players and do some promises, but you don't have to keep these promises. So there will be treason in it. Also, you will get victory points by controlling regions with dark symbols, and if you get to the number of victory points based on player counts, then you will win the game. So doesn't that sound familiar to you? Game of Thrones. And also, for example, ships in Bretwalda works like a bridge for your troops to move, and this was also something that you could find in Game of Thrones. And well, Ankh and Kemet. So Bretwalda, in Bretwalda you have these kingdom tiles that you will build or buy to enhance your actions, and you can have 2 tiles of each type, so that's kind of like Ankh, right? And also Kemet at the same time. And much like in Kemet, there will be this fluid victory points, because you will be getting the dark symbols, for example, for controlling the abyss, but at some point, if someone takes the abyss from you, he will basically also take the dark symbol, which is victory point, from you. So I mentioned these 3 games for a reason, because Bretwalda might be similar to them, but don't get me wrong, it's not the same, it's just similar. There are some proven concepts included in Bretwalda, and if you like this game, then definitely Bretwalda will be also a game for you. So now, let me tell you my thoughts on Bretwalda. What did I like about this game? Where is the area for the improvements? So first of all, let's start with the game mechanics, actually the mix of the game mechanics. So you have deck building, you have dice-based battles, you have of course the whole map and the area control part, you have kingdom development. So when I read the rules, I was like, okay, I'm not sure if the author of the game hasn't pushed it a little bit too far. And well, I see all the ideas that I like in the games that I played previously, but will it work when it's connected in one game? But yeah, believe me, it works. So I really did like the game, and when you get yourself familiarized with the rules, definitely you will enjoy this game a lot. And yeah, so this was my first fear about the game, but no worries, this is a good game. Next, we have the art. So that was the main reason that I wanted to do a preview of this game, because this is by far the best looking game of Phalanx Games. And yeah, I love the map, I love the cards. These are beautiful components, miniatures as well. And let me tell you this. Some people might think that there is a little bit too much going on the game board, but that we are here for the entertainment. But with that being said, actually there is area for improvement in this on this board, especially because the names of the cities are written with a font that can be improved, and I hope it will be improved. Also, you have a lot of tokens: building, control, dark symbols, pillage tokens. So a lot of tokens on the board, but I already know that, for example, you will be able to have building miniatures. So I'm waiting to see that, and be sure to check the campaign for more details. So all in all, art of the game is amazing. I would love to print that map and put it on my wall, but there will be definitely some people that will find it a little bit overwhelming. But I hope that the publisher of the game will introduce minor changes that will improve readability of the game board. Bretwalda is a symmetrical strategy game, right? So each faction is a little bit different. So you will get ruler cards, and each ruler is different. So all the players have different rulers with their own little abilities and statistics. Also, each kingdom has its own unique ability that will give you some nice little bonus for the game, but pretty much that's it. So don't expect anything crazy like in, let's say, Root, when you have these completely different factions. In Bretwalda, you will play with all the factions pretty much the same. You will have to just remember the rules for your faction and, of course, your current ruler. And now let's deal with the dice-based combat. So, first of all, when I read the rules, I was thinking, okay, we got 2 rounds of combat, and there is like 7 steps in each round. And I thought, okay, probably the downtime will be huge, but believe me, it's not. When we got to play it, actually combat takes like probably 2 minutes at most, and the other players are not bored with you rolling the dice. And about the dice, each unit will give you some dice, and you will roll them. So there is chaos of the war, because you might, for example, roll blanks, right? But there is a little mechanism in this game, because you can actually play these leadership cards, they will give you swords or special combat abilities as well. And well, if you are building your deck correctly and then go for a combat, the luck factor is not that important anymore. And let me tell you a little bit about the actions in this game and optimizing the actions actually, because you will only get to play 2 actions each season, each round. And as there are 12 seasons at most, but the game might as well end in the 8th season, so you will have to play at most 24 actions, but it might be less. And I would say 1 in a 4 action has to be collection action, because you need the food and the gold, right? So this game is all about thinking, what actions should I actually do, because I would like to do 3 or more in a round, but I can only do 2, and it affects all the players. So sometimes you will have the situation that you will think that the other player will attack you this round because, for example, you are weaker in some province, but actually this player can't, because he has his other problems, let's say, on the other side of his kingdom, and he can't really attack you because he needs to recruit his units or develop the kingdom. So this is pretty cool. You will be always be feeling like, I would like to do more, but you can't really, and you will need to think a little bit what actions are the best for you. And now it's time for the final thoughts of mine on Bretwalda. So did I like it? Yes sir, I did. It's not perfect, it has its flaws, but still this is the game that I think all the area control fans will like, and I definitely did like that, and it's a hell of a job from the game author. You will find negotiation, diplomacy, battles, kingdom development, and there is this constantly changing game board, and all of these elements are really cool. And while the game goes, you will see that it's kind of a tug of war, so all the players will try to thwart other players' plans, and you will be looking if the current leader is close to gain required number of victory points, and if he is close, other players will do their best to hinder his plans by sending him Viking, attacking him, or sending him neutral units. Basically, they will do their best to stop him. All in all, Bretwalda is a modern version of Game of Thrones, but it's nicer, faster, and yeah, better. And you actually get to kill the other rulers. How cool is that? This game doesn't necessarily bring any new mechanics to the table, but what it brings though is the quality. In a way, it's blending these mechanics, and it's powered by super immersive art, and it will let you feel like a king playing and ruling his medieval kingdom. Okay, I think we are done. That was pretty much it from me about Bretwalda. If you enjoyed the game, then check it out on GameFound. You'll find the link to the campaign in the description of this video. And well, thanks for watching, and bye bye!